What's up, guys? Matt Moda here with Crossing Broad, here to talk to you about the Game 3 of the White Sox versus Phillies series that continues on today. Earlier start time, 2:10 is the projected time Eastern for first pitch for this game. Adrian Houser on the bump for the White Sox. Taijuan Walker, don't always love to hear that, on the bump for the Phillies. It was nice. The Phillies had a relatively sweat-free victory yesterday. Excellent 7 shutout inning performance from Jesus Luzardo. The best part of that performance was he showed the ability to get out of a jam with runners on base. That was nice to see. Obviously, that was a huge struggle for him in the previous start. Now, for us, Jesus Luzardo having a good start means that our picks did not go well. Lost all 4 of our plays yesterday. I played the White Sox pretty heavily, got burned for it. I did the opposite the Yankees series last Friday. I played everything pretty heavily. That went well. The opposite happened yesterday. I had the White Sox team total over 3.5. That actually almost lucked into a W thanks to 3 meaningless runs in the 9th inning after getting shut out for the first 8 innings. The 2 home run picks did not go well. Luis Robert Jr. and Austin Slater for the White Sox. And then Bryce just simply cannot get him on the right night. I had him to go hit a home run. Did not happen yesterday, giving us an 0 for 4 day. That happens with baseball, with games every single day. There's going to be some variance day to day. Hopefully, we can have a better day today. I got 2 home run predictions to lock in for this game tonight. Before we get into that, of course, make sure to go to BetMGM, use promo code CROSSING to get in on the action. Let's roll with Kyle Schwarber to hit a home run for our first play. You can get him at plus 220 odds. Yesterday was a great look for Kyle Schwarber to hit a home run. I didn't take him because the odds across every single book, not just BetMGM, but across the board, were below plus 200, and I just don't have that in me to take a home run play at anything below plus 200. Of course, he did hit a home run yesterday, but luckily today we were able to get him at plus 220. Above plus 200 for Kyle Schwarber is worthy of a play when he's hitting the way he is. It's just insane, the run that Schwarber is on recently. Obviously, I don't need to sit here and tell you that Kyle Schwarber is good at hitting home runs. Really, what I'm trying to do is illustrate just how good the run that he is on, how good that is. So since the All-Star break, he's got 10 barrels, 24 hard hits. Only one batter has more barrels than him with the 10. That's in like 12 days since the return of the All-Star break. That is really, really good. Oh yeah, and he's also hit 7 home runs in this stretch, which unsurprisingly, that leads the MLB. Nobody. Kurtz hit 4 in one day. Still hasn't hit as many as Schwarber, again, since the All-Star break. And you look into his numbers. Again, it's like a 12-day span, so obviously the small sample size is always going to kind of lend itself to wonky numbers. But it really just is crazy when you look into it. Fly ball rate, 56%. Pull rate, 63%. That means 56% of the time he makes contact with the baseball. It's put in the air, and it's pulled 63% of the time. The reason why those two numbers are so important: the easiest way to hit a home run is to put the ball in the air, and easier than that is to make sure you pull it, because that means you don't have to hit it as far. And then his average exit velocity, 101 miles per hour. That means whenever Kyle Schwarber makes contact with the baseball and it's put in play, it leaves the bat at an average of 101 miles per hour. That is just ridiculous. Now, you look at the day he had yesterday. Yes, he did hit the home run. It's not just that. He had 3 total hard hits yesterday. All 3 of them were crushed. All 3 left the bat at 100 plus miles per hour. The home run was just annihilated, 114.9 miles per hour off the bat, traveled 441 feet. He also had a double that traveled 381 feet and was 107.2 miles per hour off the bat. So that means he had 3 hits that were all put in the air yesterday that were all above 100 miles an hour, 2 of which, one was a home run, the other one could have been a home run. It's just ridiculous, the run that he is on. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber, good at hitting baseballs hard and far. Now, the pitcher that he's going up against, and I'm guessing this is why we are able to get a price above plus 200, Adrian Houser. You look at his numbers, nobody's going to tell you that he's among the worst home run pitchers in all of baseball. His home run numbers do look pretty good. I'm not necessarily scared of that. His hard hit rate is pretty high, 45%. His line drive rate is pretty high, and his fly ball rate is an acceptable, like 21, 23%. But most importantly, strikeout rate is very low at 16.2%. All these numbers are against lefties. So when you look at percentage numbers, you always have to look at the strikeout rate, because if he's not striking out a ton of batters, those percentage numbers, especially the hard hit rate at 45, that's pretty bad. So yeah, I think Kyle Schwarber is going to hit a home run plus 220. I also have a player on the White Sox that I like to hit a home run by the name of Colson Montgomery, taking him to go yard at plus 575 odds at BetMGM. Montgomery, for those of you that don't know, young hitter for the White Sox, was just recently called up, like at the beginning of July, over July 4th weekend. Had a pretty slow start to his career. The first couple weeks did not go well. He's been hitting really well over the last week. 5 barrels, 12 hard hits over the last week. That puts him in pretty good company. Again, when you look at a 7-day sample size, but that puts him in pretty good company. And all that success has translated hitting 4 home runs in this stretch as well. Now you look at his numbers. Fly ball rate, 58% is fantastic. Pull rate, 75% is fantastic. That's over his last 7 games. Now he did not, unlike Schwarber, he did not hit a home run yesterday. Had 2 hard hits. One was 105 miles per hour off the bat. The other one was just below 100 at 99.7. Both of them were hit in the air. Now, they both were hit almost too high in the air with a launch angle of like 43 and 50 degrees. So you need that to be a little bit lower to be a real home run threat. But you'd rather have somebody consistently hitting the ball in the air than not. So him hitting the ball hard and in the air, that's pretty good. Now, the White Sox bats definitely struggled yesterday, and I was incorrect about that, but they should have success tonight, or I guess I should say today. Taijuan Walker is pitching for the Phillies. Not been good. You know, he had a good, fun start to the year. He's allowed 5 home runs in his last 2 starts alone. That is really, really bad. You look at the last 5 weeks, he's allowed a home run every 14 at-bats. Now, that includes some bullpen appearances as well. Not good for Taijuan Walker. You look at his numbers against lefties. You know, he actually has some worse numbers against righties than lefties, but the biggest issue is his fly ball rate allowed to left-handed hitters, almost 50%. Now, that's a death sentence going up against Colson Montgomery, who's done a fantastic job at putting the ball in the air. But one thing that I haven't mentioned yet today are the park and the weather factors. You know, the White Sox home stadium is generally pretty hitter-friendly, but for today, the temperature is mild, but the wind, going to be 10 to 14 mile-an-hour winds blowing out to right field. That's going to help left-handed pull hitters like Colson Montgomery, like Kyle Schwarber, both of which I like to hit a home run. That's all we got for today. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe. Make sure to go to BetMGM, use promo code CROSSING, and then, of course, to bet responsibly, and have a good one. Must be 21 or older in participating states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See terms and conditions in the description of the video.